Tonight, we'll be diving into England's most terrifying secret, Chambercombe Manor. A house with a dark past and secrets hiding within its walls. What if I told you a skeleton was found, hidden in a secret room, left forgotten for centuries, and that a woman is still searching the manor, looking to find peace? Ghostly whispers, eerie cold spots, and a sense of sorrow. Chambercombe Manor isn't just another old haunted house. It's a portal to the past. So grab your blankets, dim down your lights, and get ready, as this is a haunting like no other. Don't forget to subscribe to the Spooky Fam, as we've got more haunted tales, ghostly encounters, and eerie mysteries coming your way. So hit that like button, turn on your notifications, and let's step into the unknown. Chambercombe Manor, located near Ilfracombe, Devon, dates back to the 11th century, making it over 900 years old. It was originally a Saxon farmstead before being expanded into a manor during the Norman period. By the 12th century, Chambercombe Manor was owned by the Chambercombe family, who owned the land in Devon and Cornwall. The manor was built using traditional medieval architecture, featuring thick stone walls and beautiful wooden beams. During the medieval period, the manor would have functioned as a self-sufficient estate, with farmland, livestock, and even servants working to serve the lords of the manor. In the 16th and 17th century, the manor went under a lot of modifications and expansions, like most estates did in Devon. The manor became associated with smuggling, as its coastal location made it a perfect hideout for the contraband. But tonight's story begins in 1650, on a stormy night, as the wind howled through the countryside of Devon. A loud knock echoed through the manor. Thomas Reed, the head of the manor, went rushing to the door and opened the door very cautiously. As he opened the door, a young woman stood there, soaked to the bone, just standing there as the storm raged outside. Standing underneath the candle as the light flickered, Thomas could see she looked visibly unwell. She introduced herself only as Elizabeth, a noblewoman who had been travelling from Cornwall to Bristol, her carriage overturned in the storm. The Reed family couldn't turn this poor lady away, so they decided to give her a warm bed for the night in one of the rooms upstairs. But unfortunately, as the days went on, Elizabeth's fever seemed to be getting a lot worse. She said goodnight to the family and decided to go to bed. The next morning, when the Reed family went into the bedroom to check on Elizabeth, they unfortunately found her lifeless body just laying on the bed. Thomas Reed was struck with a terrible temptation. Knowing the woman had no family and seeing all the woman's jewellery and a purse full of gold sitting on the bedside table, he knew that this was worth a fortune. So he decided to keep Elizabeth's death a secret. That night, they decided to brick up the window and seal the door. turning the room into an unmarked tomb. When people would ask the family how Elizabeth was doing, they decided to start a rumour. They decided to tell everybody that Elizabeth had just left the manor. After the death of Elizabeth and the family sealing the room, their lives at Chambercombe Manor just carried on as normal. But the dead do not rest easily. One night, as Thomas Reed lay in bed, he was awoke to the feeling of ice-cold hands brushing against his throat. He bolted upright, heart pounding. He looked around the dark room. He couldn't see anybody else in the room with him, but he could hear soft breathing coming from right behind him. Servants would even refuse to go anywhere near the bricked up room, saying that when they'd been working late one night, they could hear cries coming from behind the sealed door. Some have even claimed when working late at night, they have looked up to see a woman come gliding through the sealed door. Nearly 2 centuries later, in the 19th century, the manor had fallen into disrepair. When the new tenant moved in, who was also called Thomas Reed, I know it's a very big coincidence, but he was called Thomas Reed. Now, the new owner, Thomas, noticed something very unusual. He noticed that there was a window on the exterior, but didn't seem to have a room belonging to it. This led him to investigate, so he decided to start knocking the wall down. Thomas couldn't believe what he had just uncovered. Inside this secret room was a 4-poster bed covered in dust and decay. But the most chilling discovery of all was what was lying on the bed. A skeleton dressed in tattered remains of 17th century clothing, clutching onto a pearl necklace. Thomas was obviously distressed about what he had just seen. But unfortunately, that's all we know about Thomas and the discovery that he made. So over the years, there has been many sightings at the manor. Staff that have been working at the manor have reported cold spots or even unseen hands touching them. Others say they have heard sobbing echoing through the corridors. One guest that was staying at the manor one night had a chilling experience. They reported, "I was staying at the manor one night when I was awoke in the middle of the night by a lady with a pale face wearing a long white gown. She was standing at the foot of my bed. Before I could turn over or even speak to the lady, she just vanished into the night." After the guest had seen this ghost, the staff then nicknamed the ghost the Lady in White. There has been other reports at the manor of doors slamming on their own and heavy footsteps going up the staircase late at night. When people have gone to check to see if anybody is on the stairs, there seems to be nobody around. There has been theories on who this lady in white could be. Now, some believe she was a former lady of the manor who walks the corridors sobbing over the loss of a child. Others say it could be Elizabeth, eternally crying for the fate that she suffered that one stormy night. And so the story of Chambercombe Manor remains a mystery. The whispers in the halls, the shadows in the bedrooms, and the spirits searching for peace. These are not just legends, these are the hauntings of a countryside manor. So if you ever find yourself at Chambercombe Manor, walking the corridors late at night, listen out closely, as you may hear the weeping sounds of a trapped spirit. The spirits of Chambercombe Manor are waiting, but the question is, are you brave enough to enter? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more ghostly stories. And if you're interested in real paranormal investigations, I do conduct them every Sunday with my partner Steve at 9 p.m. So, are you brave enough to stay the night at the manor? Let me know in the comment section down below. But be aware, some stories don't stay buried. And until the next time, sleep tight.
Close to the coast, you can feel the breeze, mindful of ghostly tales washing up on the beach. Dolly is the believer, but Steve don't believe. Together they investigate.
Paranormal by the sea.
Paranormal by the sea. Is there really ghosts, or is it all just fantasy? Dolly is on a mission, she has something to prove. Steve is a true skeptic, together they're unmoved. Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea.
Paranormal by the sea.
Dolly stands her ground, so strong and so brave. Steve, being the skeptic, is so quick to run away. Debunk those jump scare sounds when there is drippage all around. If Dolly can't debunk it, she is backed up by Steve. If he can't debunk it, they ask the community. If the community can't debunk it, and they all agree, bringing in the evidence.
Paranormal by the sea.
Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea.
Paranormal by the sea.
Paranormal by the sea. Is there really ghosts, or is it all just fantasy? Dolly is on a mission, she has something to prove. Steve's a true skeptic, together they're unmoved. Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea. Paranormal by the sea.